Yeah, okay, let me put your paw creams on.
Right.
Yeah, okay, let me put your paw creams on.
Right.
You're scared of the
Oh.
I know Mr. Cute Cat. Okay, okay.
Oh.
He's calling me animal. What was that for? For you. Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
Mhm.
You don't like? Oh, you got Hey, hey. Here you go.
Your mic is on. Whose mic is on? Mine? Your mic is on. Whose mic?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey. That's a lot. No. Yeah, don't you even think about it. On. So, give me a cushion. Yeah. Stop.
Ah. Oh, you've isolated. Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I thought I'd keep the mic off anyway, just in case.
Everybody's just seen you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live with me, Doodles, and special guest. Tonight, our special guest will be Dino, or you may know him as the Shilling King. But before I bring Dino on, I'd just first of all like to say sorry to the Facebook users. I'm unable to stream there tonight due to a technical issue I had today. But for everybody else, thank you very much for coming in and joining the stream tonight. Very much appreciated, and I'm pretty sure Dino will appreciate it too. If you want to leave a wee thumbs up, YouTube will appreciate it and hopefully recommend us at the end of other videos, and we'll grow our community together, folks. Anyway, let's bring Dino in. Hello, Dino. How are we doing?
Hello.
Hey,
Right.
hello. How are you doing? How's your day been?
Absolutely fantastic. Because it hasn't rained all day like it did yesterday.
Ah, so the weather's been good for you. Oh, after that
Yes.
test today, my computer went belly up, so I've been spending all day trying to repair it. But never mind. So, what was I going to say? Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, who may not know you?
Oh, for those, I can see the evening, everyone. I'm just watching the chat box go bum 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 bum. Blimey, Riley. Hello, everyone. I can't say hello to every individual, but there you go. Yeah, well, what can I say, really? I'm a 52-year-old idiot who loves wandering around like most of us, wandering around fields, digging holes, picking out ring pulls and bottle tops and stuff, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And obviously, as you might have seen recently, I grow plants now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We'll see that. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes
yeah.
anyway. So obviously with today's climate and we're slowly coming out of lockdown. How was lockdown for you? How did you actually find it, or were you able to, a key worker, still being able to get out working?
Well, no, I was able to work from home because I'm in IT. So sorry, my earbuds keep falling out. But my wife's a key worker, and so is my daughter. So I sort of I've sort of been a stay-at-home dad, if you like. Yeah, it's been fine, really. I mean, we're lucky, but others aren't. So we don't take anything for granted.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
it's been all right, and it's getting better, and it's good to see that the love is being spread slowly, and we've been let out.
Yeah, definitely. It's good that it's eased. So you've obviously been detecting a few years, and your YouTube channel's been going for quite a while as well. So, how did you actually get started into metal detecting, or who actually inspired you?
Well, I mean, God, years ago, when I was a young lad, I did have a little detector, one of those. It was a little brown thing, and God knows what it was called. But and I found an old penny, and I thought this was. I was so excited, rushed home to tell me my mum and dad, and leaned it on the gatepost, ran in, and yeah, showed them. Oh, that's great. Turned round, it had gone. It'd been whipped. So yay, joys of living in Sheffield. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, other things happened, what have you. And I was, I mean, must have been about 7 or 8 years ago. I was in Sandia Climbs.
Yep.
And all you have to do is all you've got to do is to pass the time. Sometimes is to watch YouTube videos. Oh, this YouTube looks good. So clicked on YouTube, watching things, and I watched a video from a guy that some people might know, called Deep Digger Dan, and it was the grenade one. Yeah, it was
Oh,
the
I've seen that one.
yeah, and it's
Mental.
what a total idiot, absolutely. Otherwise, funny. He's a funny guy, and I know he's a travel troll now, so and he didn't do much detective. But yeah, I thought, well, I'll try that when I get home. So I did. Got home, bought an Ace 250 pack, and boom, yeah, that which was about probably more like maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and then just when you sort of like, you emulate. Oh, I'll do that. I'll make videos and things. And my first videos, all my videos are still up. So when you go right from the beginning, you'll see.
Oh yeah.
There's a reason it took this time to get to 1,000 subs.
Yeah. So obviously, congratulations on reaching your 1,000 subs, because you've not that long reached your subs, have you?
No, no, I'm at 1,004, I think. So you know, and I've always said it's not really about the numbers. You know, I mean, I thought, oh, 1,000 subs, I can go live.
Yeah,
Hey, but you don't need 1,000 subs. As I didn't realise
yeah,
there's other ways around stuff, which is cool. But yeah, it's about the interaction. It's about you know, when you upload videos, stick them up there for you know, for people to watch, you know, for my girls to watch movies later in life, or I don't know, whatever. And it's just fun, and
yeah.
you know, to get your stuff recorded.
Exactly. Well, it's also a good way of permanently recording your finds that you find, because we're always going to
Exactly.
record our best finds, aren't we? So did you actually start your YouTube channel when you started detecting, or was that
Yeah.
slightly after?
No, well, yeah, it was within weeks. I literally, if you look at my first video, it is literally me in the bed going, "Hello, hello." You know,
Oh,
it's that it's like I wasn't sure.
I
YouTube
don't
was
think that
messaging
much has
you,
changed
yeah.
though.
But it
Oh,
yes, different bedroom. But yeah,
yeah,
but it's just yeah, around about the same time. And at the first, I actually obviously, but detector turned up, and I thought, permissions. I haven't got any. Well, I
yeah,
know. And then the house next door was empty, so I did the garden.
nice. I like that. Um,
Yeah,
so obviously, with lockdown and things like that, you've actually recently, I say recently, the last what is it, 80 odd days now, you've been
yeah,
doing
90.
Dino's
Today's day 90.
90. So you've been doing Dino's daily diaries. so what? So what actually got you started into doing like a vlog? That's basically what it is, isn't
Well,
it?
yeah,
So
exactly. It was in the early days of lockdown. You know, when like sort of you couldn't go to the shops unless it was for essential food, and you couldn't, you know. So it was like stuck at home, have to do stuff, have to get things
yeah,
done. And I happened to watch. I don't know if you've seen Archer and Mega Donkey. Paul Jackson. He lives up in Lincoln. He
yeah,
started doing the sort of daily. I watched his and I thought, yeah, that'll be good to pass the time because I can't, you know, working. I can't sit at my laptop constantly. You've got to take breaks. So you take breaks, and I thought, oh, you know, I could do it in the breaks or whatever, you know. So COVID. So I started that, and and it just went from there. Really, I sort of almost emulated him in the respect of his garden's amazing now. He's sort of you know, he started planting little seeds in and everywhere, and it looks like Alan Titmarsh's back lawn. It's just ridiculous. It was really good. And mine's well, apart from the slugs and the dog eating plants, small plants and that whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, it's getting better. Just watching the dog chew his. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, it was just a bit of fun, and here we are, 90 videos later, and I've just got used to it really, and I do it all on my phone. So I do the YouTube video, the metal detector videos on the PC, but
Yeah.
then I do my you know, it's a quick little 10-15 minute daily diaries. So I bang them on me, shoot them on my phone as long as it's not longer than 15 minutes. Didn't take long to load up. I've actually managed to get today's up before this.
Oh, happy
Sweet it
days.
out.
Nice. Talking about your daily diaries, and you highlight that there, your slugs. You're actually
Yeah.
becoming to know been known as the slug slayer. How, how is the battle with these slugs? Because obviously they've been
Oh,
eating your
it's
plants.
ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can't. The thing is, as I think it was Mick the Gyp suggested that I regularly check my pots for
Yeah.
slugs. And so I read that comment. I thought, I will. So I went out and turned the first pot I turned over was a big fat slug, just
Oh.
leaving one of the plants I showed that's got munged. So he went over the fence, as did a couple of his colleagues, and a snail straight over the wall. So and I don't throw them into anybody else's garden. They're going out onto the road or into like a rough patch. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to be the slug slayer. I tell you. Oh
Yeah.
God, they're hot. They're the right mess.
Yeah, they do make a right mess. I've seen the diaries, but
Mm.
also in the diaries, you've actually been naming tomato plants. And I'm actually
Yes.
quite honoured that I've got one named after me as well,
Oh
with
yeah.
a few
Oh,
others.
yours is going all right, actually.
Yeah.
No, that was a good. I thought, how did I get started with that? I can't remember. I just oh, it was Tom. It wasn't Essex Detecting's Tom, but it was there was a one, you know, like when a shoot pops up and then the husk falls off, or
Yeah.
sometimes they don't fall off, so it looks like a shoot with a little brown blob on it. And I picked the husk off. I rescued it, and I thought, for a laugh, I'm going to call that Tom, because my late granddad was called Tom. He used to call him Tommy Tomato, because he was amazing at growing tomatoes. Anyway, so I thought I'd call it Tom. And then I was looking through the comments of the video after, and I noticed that oh no, I wasn't. I was looking at something to do with detecting Essex anyway. And I thought, there you go. I'll call, I'll say I've called it Tom after Tom, and then I had another one, and then I've had somebody's kids, so it's they're all growing it. But I will say I'm not doing a height competition. I've said it in the videos, because I've given some people like half-grown ones and some people little sprouting ones, and it's a bit unfair, really. Although I think, Jim MD Melbourne's is the biggest, but I've got to let Granny win, if anything. Got to let the mother-in-law win.
Well, you can just go around changing the names. We wouldn't actually notice. Just move the plant pots.
Oh, go! Oh no, it's a good idea, that.
Yeah. So how many actual tomato plants have you got now? Because it's not just tomatoes you've grown. You've grown pumpkins and.
Oh well, yeah. The pumpkins are in plant hospital, we've called it, because I put a cage over the 4 pumpkins that came up. I put a cage over them, and slugs got underneath. They must, or they were in. Apparently, some slugs live in the earth and come out, and anyway, whatever. Yeah. So they got damaged. So they were. I lifted them up and stuck them in plant hospital, which is an old fish bowl.
Yeah.
And then I counted up the tomatoes. So I have got Jack's barking. I have got 57 tomato plants, including the 2 shop bought ones. I've got a sunflower. I have a raspberry plant. I've got. I think there's broccoli and Brussels sprouts are growing, believe it or not. They sprouted during the rain. And and the pumpkins. And 2 Mr. and Mrs. Potato plant.
Nice. Nice. They require a lot of soil and depth, don't they?
They do, yeah. I've had so many. Thing is, it's great. That's a great thing about YouTube is there's so many people know so much about. So there's everybody knows something about something. So I've had tips on how to improve Jack eating, because he wasn't eating properly. So I had this, I had that. I've had tips on potatoes. It's brilliant. Absolutely, that's the other thing I love about YouTube is everybody has the answer.
Yeah, no, definitely. Also, during your diaries, you made you made yourself a little contraption, didn't you, for Jack?
What was that?
The Jack cam.
Oh yeah, that was fun. But the first attempt was a fail because it kept falling off. So I put it on his back on a strap.
Yeah.
And that worked all right. But when the only footage I used was the footage that was any good, because when he ran, all you could see were his ears like that, and then it wobbled. So it wasn't very professional, really. No. But I forgot actually. You reminded me. I need to. And what I'm going to do is put those. I think I've got about 35 minutes of him just running about. I'm just going to release it as a video on YouTube, and Jack Cam. That'll be a laugh, wouldn't it? Yeah, but that was
Do a little commentary as he goes with it.
Oh yeah, Jack, bit of Jack commentary. Yeah, like I do with the little flies and the snails. I just the naughty snails.
Yeah.
I was going to call them Jamie and Rachel.
Jamie and Rachel are in the chat as well. What was I going to say? Right. So back to detecting anyway at the moment. When you first started, you said you got your Ace 250 pack. How did you find the Ace 250 to start with?
Absolutely fantastic. It's an awesome starter machine. I mean, it's the 150 is the sort of kiddie starter machine. So the 250 is entry level, and I know now they've brought out the 200i, 300i, 400i, which are also really good machines. And of course, now they brought out the Ace Apex.
Well, we'll talk about that one in a wee bit.
Yeah. I mean, I envisaged an 18 one as well, but there you go. But I found it fantastic. It was really comfortable, ergonomic, very intuitive to use. A turn-on swing machine. boom. You know, you can go out, turn it on side of the field, find what you want, no problem.
Yeah,
It's one of the machines. Yeah.
I started with an S250. I think the majority of people did start with an S250.
Yeah.
And rather than...
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of other ones out there.
Oh, yeah. And rather than upgrade the machines, they upgraded the coils, because obviously you've got the nail coils and stuff like that that would fit it, so that done well. So what are you actually using now, or what detectors have you actually used since the S250?
I upgraded. Well, with the 250, I put the. I don't know whether anybody saw the Mars or MAS 13.5-inch coil. I added that to the 250, and that gave me a lot more depth and range. Really, that was brilliant. And I used that quite a while. And then I've now got the Garrett AT Max International. And I popped on the Nail Tornado because it's similar. It's similar size, about 13-inch, I think. Onto the Max, and it works fine. It's fantastic. I have put the stock one on a few times, back on just for just to, if it's a bit trashy or whatever, and it's all right. But I've got used to the coverage, the pinpoint, etc. with a bigger coil. So yeah, I do prefer it. But lovely.
Ah, nice. Obviously, you were saying nice. So what's that you're actually drinking at the moment?
John Smith's.
Oh, I'm not too keen on John Smith's. I think that's like Marmite. You like it or you don't.
Well, you see, there's a segue into the slugs, back into the slugs. You see, because the best stuff to put into a slug trap is John Smith bitter.
Is it?
And it works. Believe me, it works.
Well,
yeah.
I seen you set up your trap with it and cover it with the bottom end of the bottle. How has that actually been working?
Oh yeah, worked a treat. After 15 minutes, I nipped out to see if it was all right, and there was 4 slugs on the way to the bar, as it were.
Nice. You do know salt works just as good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see, the salt in the beer kills them. It drowns them. They come in for the sugar, and it drowns them. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Well, if they keep on, I am going to resort to salt attacks.
Yeah, I get out my back. I get on my slabs. You get up in the morning and it's just full of snail trails. I don't know where they come from, but they're all over the shop.
Just don't know where they hide.
Yeah, and it's not easy to power wash off the slabs either. To be fair.
No, that's right. Actually, it is good stuff. They should coat, I don't know, the space shuttle in it.
Not too bad. So we are. You said you upgraded to the Maxi and things like that. So not your best find, but what would you say is your most memorable? Do you think?
Well, that would be the Charles. Oh, if I've got it in here, actually, 1 second. I don't know. Oh no, I don't think I've got it back. Bugger. Oh no, actually. One of my memorable finds was my first ever Elizabeth I groat. Oh, stop wiggling. Hold on. I'll get it out of the bag.
Yeah. See, that's on my bucket list. I've never found Elizabeth.
Oh.
So
you know what?
She's on one of my bucket lists. Or my bucket list, just not the top.
There you go. Is that in focus? I can't see.
No. Yeah, it's in focus here.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Look at that. That was off. That was, believe it or not, that was a surface find.
Sunbathing.
It was yeah, absolutely. And I didn't see it, right? Because I was on my friend Andrew Jones, thanks very much, Andrew, on one of his permissions, bless him. And he'd had hammered off that field before, and I had a signal, and it wasn't very deep. So I dug about 3 or 4 inch and flipped the clod, and the signal got worse. And I thought, and then is it there? Oh, maybe it is in the clod then. I was just about to chop the clod in half, and I thought, hold on a minute, I'll just check. So I flipped the clod back to maybe give it a sweep and a bit more better to pinpoint it better.
Yeah.
And there it was, sat. The grass had flipped up, and there it's video. Absolutely incredible. And I shouted hammered, and I think I heard him swear. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, Oh man, it was. It was. I mean, one sort of swipe of my thumb,
Yeah.
and the black sort of came off almost. It had been because it had been sat in the sun. It had air, if you like. So, and that field had been ploughed and seeded, ploughed, rolled and seeded. I think whatever they'd done. So it had, yeah, exactly. So it had been that long. Yes, but some of my favourite finds are brass. I love brass.
Yeah.
Hold on, see if you can see the.
A wee teddy bear.
You see me bear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Nice. So
I found that.
What age is that?
I think it's because of the stuff I found in that area. It's a field that was. I just thought it was an old orchard, and it was an orchard. Or even on a 1940, I think 1940s Luftwaffe aerial photo. So I assumed it had just been used for maybe his training and stuff. But then I looked on 1946 aerial photographs, RAF aerial photographs, and I found 5 Nissan huts in that field. Yeah, and nobody, well, no, there's no locals that were aware of them anyway. So I sort of, I traced where the path is on the map. I followed the path, and between where the Nissan huts were, I started to find stuff. Bits and bobs, cat badges, ape knees, sixpences and stuff. And then little bear came up, and with other blobs. And I think that they were making them. They were making stuff like that. Could be. Somebody mentioned that there's a Polish fighter squadron that had their own bear.
So it might be from that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's 40s, and it's clearly been made. It's been rough cast out of scraps. Yeah, right. But I love the bear. Yeah. So the big man Simon asked up there if he could have it, and I said no.
No. I do like brass and bronze and things like that because they give you an outstanding signal. Like you know, you've got something underneath your coil when you hit them. Like
solid, good signal.
So obviously they're your favourite and most memorable. What is your best? What would you say is your best find?
Oh, I would say it's the. I thought I was hoping that it was in my box. This is my Charlie Shilling, my Charles. We just found that.
What's that? We watch.
I think it's a watch. Yeah, or a watch. One of them things that come on top. I found that one. I forgot that was in there. Oh, it fell out of my bag. Okay. Oh, so untidy. Charles. I want to say Charles the First Shilling, but massive, the massive one. But and I was trying to find a picture to send you, but I can't find it. It was in a field on a permission that the farmers had sort of. They only let me on. They're a bit weary of that type of landowner is a bit just you, but not too much. So I don't hassle them too much. And it was the day she came across, walked into the field to tell me that that she wanted me to stop detecting on the fields. They're not very big fields, but it was that day. She walked across. I said, "I do." Oh, he said, "Oh, we're gonna have to stop." I said, "Okay, no worries." I said, "But it's a shame because I'm finding some good stuff on this field, including this." And I held up a massive hammered coin, and she went, "Oh well, keep going then." So
So you still got that permission now, or
yes, I have. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Luckily, I mean, I haven't been in touch with them since lockdowns eased. I'll give that a while because I've got another 2, and again, not small. Am I getting reflections on my glasses on?
Yeah.
I know I can't see anything.
Oh no, that's fine. It's quite cool. It just makes you look cool. That's all. It just makes you look like you're wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Do you know the ones with the eyes on it that you can actually just see through?
I've got some baby ones somewhere. I was going to wear them, but I've left them in the front room. Never mind.
Yeah, you like your caps as well, though, don't you? You've got a multitude of caps.
Yeah. I thought I was going to wear one, but it means in this obviously. Oh God, sorry, my earbuds fell out again. Bloody thing.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, I've left them in the garage. I do like wearing hats. I love swapping the old hat, and it's it's nice to especially when people send you them, or you've got like one from somewhere you've bought stuff from, then it's nice to wear them all really. And my favourite one is obviously my 18 Max one, because it's just cool. And obviously my Maple Leafs, my Canadian Maple Leafs, that's my blue one. That's my lucky one. But I've lost it. I can't find it.
It's that lucky that you've lost it.
yeah.
I like
the look
it.
fairies have taken.
Yeah, not too bad. So obviously, I've also heard when we've been talking and things like that, you found quite weird things as well, haven't you? What would you say is your weirdest?
Well, my weirdest. Hold on, see if I can get this in focus.
What is that?
Is that in focus?
It's just went out. Pull it back a bit. Nah, it's I think it's the blur that's causing it to not.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's blurring.
Yeah.
It is. It's they're called the candlewick holders. Like back in the day when they used to carry the old candle to bed.
Yeah.
And a little dish candle, little ring. When you put your finger through the ring, well, that's what that is.
A wee ring thingy.
Yeah, wee ring, exactly. It's I think it's a koi carp, so it's like sort of the fish is curled over.
Yeah.
Crazy. And that was the last signal of the day. I ain't got much that day actually. It was in the Rams field, and the Rams have been annoying and following me around. So and it was one of them days. I thought, oh, last signal. So last signal, and then it was. I thought, this is a bit of brass, be right. Yeah. It's up by the farmhouse. And that popped up, and the fish head peered out, and I was like, whoa, what is that? And that's one. That is definitely weird.
Yeah. I don't mind going in with sheep into fields and stuff like that. I don't do cows, and I definitely don't do rams. I just.
Oh no, I definitely don't do cows, especially Yeah, especially this time of year. Rams, I don't mind, because the lady that looked after rams, she said just keep an eye on them, and if they're all together, then they're fine. If one wanders off, then he's out. Yeah, mind you, my the trouble is with the new. I've just got a new permission, but I can't talk about what's in the fields, the animals in the fields, because it might give it away in the area.
Right.
But what I can say is that the ram that's in that field is enormous.
Yeah.
But he's all right. Yeah, but he's good gold.
I don't think I'd be going in there. Like, to be fair, like it's kind of like cows and bulls. No, stay away. I went in one of my permissions, and they've got horses, and they're like, "Yep, you'll be absolutely fine in there with the horse." And I was like, "Right, no bother." But I was only traversing the field to get to the next one, behind it. So I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And they're like, "He's a wee young thing, but obviously massive." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "He's just nudge him. You'll be fine. Just show him who's boss." I went, "Yeah, no problem." So obviously this horse come alongside me, and I was like looking at him, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And then he starts pushing me, and I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" So I start leaning into him to sort of say, "Go the other way." No, he just kept pushing me, didn't he? But there was a ditch at the side, so I ended up falling into the ditch, didn't I? I was just like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, I'm not getting back out. I'll just walk along the ditch."
Yeah, fair play. Now, definitely no cows. Horses aren't bad, although Kev.
I was going to say, after seeing that video, I'm like,
they really, if they want to start, if they don't like it, they'll stomp. And he was probably only saying, "What's that?" Because it won't be vicious, but because the footage is crazy, man. Luckily though, it's lucky it wasn't his hand or his foot. So that's the problem. There's two problems being in fields with animals detecting is they can attack you, and if you don't fill your holes in properly, or they have a munch, and especially the cows, they'll drag your clod out if you don't stamp it down properly. And that's the goal. And then there's a big farmer claim.
See, but that is, you've just raised an actual good point about the animals lifting out the clods, and it's especially, I would say, you've got to be very careful in the dry weather, because down south you're quite dry. So when you put your clods back, they're not bonding back. So it's quite easily for the cows and sheep to pull them if they're out in the field. So just be careful and make sure you fill them in.
Oh yeah, you've got to think about how especially you've got to consider how how your spade goes in. If you're going to dig like that, then and take your clod out, it's going to be pulled out easily by the coup. Whereas if you dig more
so angle
like
back
that,
in.
Yeah, exactly. I always because you think you dig a clod out and you're rummaging around and you have a little spoil pile, and then how many times have you put your spoil pile back in, put your clod back in, and it's about that far up, and you have to stand down. So what I do is that I chuck handfuls behind me, and because all it does is scatters around the field, and then your clod will sit just flush, and then I jump up, and as I jump up, I stomp on it.
Yeah.
And give it a good kicking, which is probably what's the matter with my back.
Yeah, that'll definitely not do good for your back, like, to be fair. So when you find your items in that, first of all, do you clean them? Do you attempt to clean them?
Yeah. I do. If it's something that's like I don't know, hammered or a Roman or something, Roman coin or something of that nature, I'll just bag it, tag it, get it to the flow, and let that in, and then take their advice on if they're going to keep it and conserve it, fair plays. If it's like Victorian or Edward, I love Edward coins, by the way, King Edward. I'll clean them. I'll give them a dry brush. I don't wet clean the coins, dry brush coins to make them look nice, and that type of thing. Or if it's something like that, which is just, I think it's one of those pot handles. That's all it is, just a brush. Yeah, I'll give that give all this stuff a clean, and I do like to clean everything and then lay it out and take pictures and say, look at this rubbish.
Just before you go as well, Mark for MS Detectress is asking, can you put a light on? It's a bit dark at your side.
Oh, it has got dark. What, one second?
There you go, Mark. He's off away to put a light on for you. There we go. Well, I hope you've just no fell and tripped there. That's better. Yeah, looking better.
Hey, sorry,
Everybody will be able to see you now.
It's me. I didn't notice, but as obviously as the light faded, so did me.
I think you were doing a rather not night hawking, but night streaming.
Yeah.
Not too bad. So you were talking about your cleaning your coins and that. I always find the Edwards, normally your Edward 7s and that, they come up quite nice. They
do,
come out of the ground quite nice.
Yeah.
And
I mean, quite a few people. I mean, lots of there's a short reign, so you don't find many. And I think, oh God, I'm trying to think when they changed the composition of the bronze.
Right.
Was it 20s? I think something like that. Was it 27? Somebody will know. This is the beauty of YouTube. Somebody will go, oh, it was 19 blah blah blah. Yeah. So they changed the composition of the bronze, didn't they? So that's why you get those Vickies and Eddies, especially, come up with a beautiful green patina. Oh, sorry, patina.
There you go. Tyson Fury's telling you 29.
Oh, hey, cheers, buddy. Hope you like the plant, mate. Very quickly. Thanks, John Clayton. John Clayton's just subbed. He's just pinged up. It's very kind of him, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice.
Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't just obviously the silver contents. The coins that changed obviously in the 1920s and 1947, but they also changed the copper and bronze, and then they changed from copper to ironclad, which obviously nowadays our coins.
Absolutely rubbish. It's the value, isn't it? It's obviously the value of metal, and I mean, isn't there a country that still has silver in its coinage?
Yep, Canada.
Canada. That's it. Yeah.
I say Canada. Canada have got still silver in circulation. I think they've stopped now, but they do
Yeah.
have it in
They're
circulation.
still spendable, aren't they? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Lucky Liz. Lucky
Yeah,
Liz,
because they
eh?
do all
Anyone
the.
else has ever...
I think the Americans still have it as well in circulation, because they do all the
Oh no,
coin
yes, they do,
rollings
of course,
looking
yeah,
for
because
it,
they
don't
do
they?
coin rolls, yeah, coin, yeah, they find loads. Well, I've lost contact with Mike Lyman, but Mike does it all the time, and he gives stuff away, doesn't he? There's
Yeah.
loads of, yeah, forgot about that, yeah, we don't know.
No,
Boo,
it's a
just
shame.
rubbish.
Yeah, we
Which
get
last
copper
you
nickel.
must have found yeah, you find the modern pennies that are like iron core,
Yeah,
and they're just almost gone. Almost gone. You can tell the difference when you find a slightly like a 71, 72
yeah,
penny. At least it's
yeah. Because
it's
the modern ones,
copper.
the middle ones just the modern ones, sorry, just burst open, don't they? And it's just like a big
Yeah,
crud.
just
It's like, well, what's that? You know
rubbish.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Rubbish.
Oh yeah. Oh,
And the
Pompey.
bin.
Everyone.
So what do you
Yeah.
do?
I like that.
Do you? Because a lot of folk obviously just trash, or I say trash, but when they find rubbish and they've identified it as rubbish, just throw it in the bin. Do you separate yours off? And a
Yep.
brass, lead.
I've got. Oh yeah, in my garage, I've got an iron bin, which is one of them big sort of horse feeding plastic things,
Yeah,
whatever they are. And I've got like old, tins full of, well, I say full. I've got lead and brass and that type of thing. And then I just keep interesting stuff, which I'm going to be going through. And some of my videos, they keep popping out. I don't know why. Come on, a smile. Hey. Yeah, so I mean, I did at one point. There was too much in the garage, and I ran out of space, so I cashed in, and I got 14 quid.
nice.
14 pounds.
Well, that's
Free, innit?
if, if you think about it, that's fuel towards going out
Yeah,
detecting them. Anyway.
yeah,
But
exactly. But some people keep it. Some people have never thrown anything away. Like again, going back to Paul Archer and Mega Donkey, he's been making fishing weights, rocket-shaped fishing weights out of his lead. He's sort of got loads. To be fair, you've got one because he wears safety flip flops, no gloves, and he's pouring molten lead. It's just comical. He's a health and safety nightmare. Your health and safety nightmare, Paul. Anyway, yeah.
You just wouldn't comprehend that, would you? Yeah, I'll just pour molten lead with flip flops.
Yeah. But I will say, I do keep my horseshoes, most of them, and I have got one of those. Rob Random really kindly gave Jamie and Rachel that horseshoe.
Yes.
He what's the word? Stuck it in some water with some electric stuff, electrolysis. He made it nice and whatever, treated it, and then he gave it to him. And I've got one of those, which you're not having, to be fair, Jamie and Rachel, because you've already got one. But yeah, I didn't realise they were so rare.
Yeah, no, I'd never even seen one before until I seen Rachel and Jamie with the mail call and bringing it out. Like, I'd never ever seen one. I always thought they were just actually U-shaped.
I think I've had. To be fair, I think that I've in my last, when I got rid of all my scrap last time, I think I had 2 in there.
Yeah. Oh no. See.
Yeah, we keep it.
You now know to keep them, don't you?
Oh yeah, it was room.
Talking about Rachel and Jamie though, did you actually see Jamie's horse brass that he found? It was still attached to the leather. He actually found the square piece of leather with the horse brass still attached. It's in his latest video.
Is that in the last video?
Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. Apologies, Jamie and Rachel. I'm getting to it.
Yeah. Well, if you actually see that, and like Jamie points out, it's quite good because you actually see how it was connected to the leather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. When you find things like that, like a belt buckle with actual leather in it, and I mean, it wasn't that old, but I did find a buckle with a little bit of leather in it, and this was you're very lucky. It depends on the soil, the soil composition, doesn't it? 'Cause leather goes pretty quick, unless it's been preserved, and so to find something like that, that's a bloody good find. Well done, Jamie.
Yeah, definitely. Well done on that one. But as you mentioned buckles, though, I love buckles. Just there are that different many styles of them. But
Yeah, exactly.
and I always laugh because you get folk that'll look at a buckle and go, it's a buckle, and then they throw it in their trash bag, and it's like, well, no, that's a nice find.
Oh,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, my
I do like
favourites
them.
are definitely the double loop and the two-piece ones. You know, the ones with like sort of the bit inside, which is like sort of sometimes like a lizard's tongue or something. Amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking. You can be looking back to especially some of the rough the rough cast. Sorry, I can hear my dog moaning. Oh. 1 second.
But yeah, I think the best buckle I've seen or that I want to find. He's off. He's already. That's okay.
Who'd
I'm
have a
just
dog?
saying.
Yes.
One of the buckles that have actually made my bucket list was it was Grim. Lukus found it, and it was a silver buckle, actually hallmarked.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I never even knew silver buckles like that existed. So that's made my bucket list, I think.
Well, yeah, not in not in sort of fields. You think you get your bike. I mean, I recently the spectacle buckle I found, the last one I found on that new. When I turned it over, it did have remnants of silver gilt. So I thought, that might be more common, but not a solid silver buckle. Yeah, anything to be fair. Yeah, I mean, I like gold. Gold's great, and I love, but I like silver. Silver's more shiny.
So, what have you found gold?
No, I have never found. Never. I found gold gilt. I have. I must admit to putting I found gold or gold, silver, and Victorian treasure on one of my videos once. Clickbait, very naughty. Never do it again, promise. But but it's it is gold because it's it's dipped in. It's like what they call silver wash, gold wash.
Yeah, gold plated.
Yeah, exactly. Gold plated and that, but no, silver. I love silver.
Yeah. I've been tricked by buttons many a time. Do you know that little gold bit just peeking out? And you dig it, and then it's like, that's a button. That's a button.
All those lovely. Your heart goes when you see the gold milk bottle top.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a noble. It's a no, it's not. It's a milk bottle top from the dairy down the road.
Until you start cleaning it, you're like,
yeah, and it crumbles away. Yeah.
Or
anything.
That's that horrible foil. Throw it in the trash.
Yeah. Who doesn't use the phrase foiled again?
Yeah. Oh no way! I can imagine you doing that in your squeaky voice on your videos.
Absolutely, all the time.
I like it. So, what are your finds? Do you keep them in a box, or are you one that is working on a display?
I've got them all in sort of all the half decent stuff. I've got them in all in different boxes, and I'm sort of I mean these lot are for the flow, so they haven't been obviously we've had issues with A, meeting the flow, B, lost our flow. We've got a new one now, so now it's new processes. So we're waiting for them to say when we can take all this stuff. I've got almonds in here. I've got all sorts of stuff. But when they come back, if they don't want them, then they go in the boxes, roll me the stuff in the garage, and Bob's your uncle. And then eventually, well, Bob is my uncle actually, to be fair. But and then I will eventually do something with them, make displays, make some in, and give them to the farmers, give them out as prizes. I don't know, type stuff. Ooh, there's a thought.
But see with your flows currently at the moment. Obviously, just because there may be new detectors in here. Can you email your flows and show them, and then they tell you over the email, don't bring it in or bring it in?
Yeah. I definitely send. If it's something like I found my first two hammers were together, and they weren't. They were in the same field, but they were different finds. They weren't classed as treasure. However, I found two bullhead shillings, 1816 and 1818, and they were classed as treasure. They had to go through because it's from the old act or something, and so but I got them back. Fair play, I want them. But it's things like that that you don't think. If you think something is like might be of interest, see it in a book or on the PAS Portable Antiquity Scheme database that's similar, and you think, oh, that should be recorded. You can email them, send them pictures, and say, look, I've just found this. I know I've got 14 days to declare, etc. Is it? At least you're covering yourself if they go, no, we don't want that Oxshoe. Thanks very much, but thanks for us. That's you've got. It's best if you do, especially now that we haven't had a flow. I've been sending pictures of anything of interest to nobody, so that when obviously this new person will now pick up and look through and go, and I can prove that I have declared it to say I found this.
Yeah.
And if it's nothing, if it is something, then I declared it and I'm within. I've kept within the boundaries of the law.
Nice, I like it. But that is good advice for the beginners as well. Just report everything. Just at least get the advice from them to check your finds out. That way,
dig everything, right. Report everything. Yeah.
I like that. That is a good motto, isn't it? Dig everything, report everything.
That's made up of that.
Yeah. So obviously, we'll go into a little bit about permissions, and then what we'll do is we'll have a little interval, a little relief break. I'll give you a little relief break. But permissions. How many have you got? Because obviously for the new ones as well, the new detectorists, how do you go about actually obtaining, and what do you prefer? What way do you prefer obtaining your permissions?
I've tried them all. I mean, back when I first started, I first got the 250. I started just door knocking, just the farms, local farms, and I didn't do very well.
Yeah.
It just I don't seem to. It didn't seem to work for me. I don't know whether it was that I turned up on my. I had to get around on my PX because we only had one car at that time. My wife needed it for work, so I was zipping about in a little on a little two-stroke to farmhouses. So can I detect any land? No. I got a lot of no's, and then I tried letters. Then it worked. Some got some nice replies. And then I found, I've read somewhere about people, do a bit of research, go and show them the research. And I thought, oh my God, how did I miss that? So, when we moved down here, a friend of mine passed me a story, and he sat across from me, work colleague, and it was about a boiler explosion in 1895, which...
But no, say too much on that, because I've got a
no,
question on that.
Anyway,
that's coming up at the end.
Yeah, read it, found it interesting, and so I did a little bit of research, etc., and went to some of the people who sort of live in the area, spoke to the people, and eventually got 2 permissions out of it, which sort of one on one side, one on the other side of the small village, so that works for me. I think it's a better way because you're giving something back, and you can also go to the farmer and say, oh, that thing I was talking about, here's a part of it type thing. So that's kind of, oh look, you can see our rainbow look. That's sort of a good way of doing it, and obviously the other best way of doing it is to have a mate with a farm. Permission 3. Yay!
That works. That's how I've got one of my permissions.
Exactly.
He owns the farm, so I've got. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to travel to it because it's further than 5 miles from my house. So that's off limits at the moment.
It'll get better then. That's a good thing, isn't it? As restrictions ease off, then it opens up to us all. But
yeah, well, that's a good thing as well because all farmers talk to each other, isn't it? If you do a good job of filling in your holes, look after the land, and report to him and show him your finds and stuff, he might speak to other farmers who then you can gain permission through that way as well.
Yeah. So, I will. One tip though. One tip: if you're gonna go to a farm and say, I've done some research here, and can I look on your, can I walk your fields? Can I do whatever? Don't mention initially that you already do their neighbour, because they might not like each other, and he might go, no, because I don't like him, type thing. Keep it stum, and just don't talk about it. Just talk about the research. That's a good point, because you forget that, like normal neighbours, farmers are neighbours too, and they don't always get on.
Not too bad. Right. Well, we've just been streaming, I'd probably say, for about 55 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to have a wee interval break. I hope you are showing each other all the love, and if you just sit back and I'll play a little video for you, or channel promotion of a few channels. So show each other the love, folks, and we'll catch you in a few minutes.
Hello, and welcome to our metal detecting channel. Join us on our adventures as we attempt to find some of Britain's lost hidden treasures. We have managed to secure some absolutely breathtaking land and permissions throughout the UK. We are history fanatics, we are always ready. We are Dave and Tom, we are the Detectives.
Phil Griff, El Campo Detectorist here. If it's for you, come and join me on the Costa Blanca, out on the beaches, even up in the mountains. Got some cracking videos to go through. Just pop over to my channel, El Campo Detectorist. If you like, thumbs up, like and subscribe.
Thanks for coming, nice to see you. Name's Phil, Southeast Detecting. If you want to come and join me, have a look at my channel. I use the Simplex, boom. Loads of finds. I found Viking, Roman, come and check me out. Have a look at my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Come and join me on my adventures, digging around the English countryside, looking for Britain's lost history. Southeast Detecting, be there.
Southeast Detecting Productions.
Tony's and Simplex Guru watchers, thank you so much for watching our videos and putting comments in and asking us questions, interacting with us. We really appreciate it. If you're so inclined, we'd appreciate a subscribe, and if you want notifications when we release new content, just hit that bell. It's free. Bye.
Hello everyone and welcome back. So I'll just unmute. Hello Dino, welcome back, buddy.
Hello.
Just like to say, everyone, please go and check the channels out and show them the love. The great channels, and if you wish for your channel to be promoted in future intervals, you'll be able to see my email scrolling across the top of the screen. If you just email me a 15-second intro, I'll be able to get you put in for a little bit of channel promotion. Anyway, Dino, welcome back, buddy. How's it going?
Great. I've just had a digestive biscuit, so I feel like I've got sand in my mouth.
And double X-ray glasses now.
yeah, I found them. These are the little ones that.
Yeah.
What are these? I think that. Oh God. Yeah, they're definitely. That's better. I can see what I'm doing now. Yeah, I think they're those. What's them call it? 3D glasses.
Seeing everything in 3D. I might be popping out to you now. Excellent, I love it. So just before the break, we were actually talking about permissions, gaining permissions and stuff like that, and then we were talking lightly on research. If you don't mind giving away some secrets, what kind of tools and apps and research do you do for land? What kind of things do you do to research?
There's loads out there. I'll tell you what the best for looking at the history of land, and quite a few people have sort of shared this about, is the National Library of Scotland's georeference mapping and the side by side, and which includes LiDAR now.
Yeah,
absolutely fantastic. And I believe that that's free everywhere else apart from Scotland. Is that right?
Yeah. In Scotland, there is free LiDAR, but it's nothing like what you see with what you're talking about, the comparison on like a LiDAR finder, where you can view on a Google Maps and then see the LiDAR. It's nothing like that. It's just green, yellow, and red blotches on a computer screen. I made no sense of it whatsoever.
Yeah, you can go to like a 1 and 2 meter, either sort of ground or buildings.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely fantastic. There's that, which is the NLS mapping. You can get the Somerset ESAEH, I think it's effectively the heritage site, and you can look at tithe maps back from go way back. That's just to give you an idea of what's been there, what you might find there, that type of thing, and just general. Not only, everybody uses the internet. There's a book called, it's called it was called The Engineer. It's a magazine called The Engineer. I think it was a Victorian magazine. You might have seen it yourself.
Yeah.
There's, in fact, I found a lot. I got a lot of information from my research for the boiler explosion out of that, because it talked about the inquiry. It talked about things. If you looked a little further forward, you could see that acts came into sort of law. It forced changes in law. The Engineer. There's the what's the other one? Yeah. Oh, got me there. But yeah, there's so much more than that was on the internet, to be fair. But there's so much more than the internet. And even Wikipedia can be, although it's not still not an agreed source of information when it comes to peer-reviewed documents. But there's loads there's loads of good stuff on there. You just have to take it with a pinch of salt and confirm it somewhere else. But if you're looking at a field, then it depends on where you are and what your local authority has. You can always speak to council and say, got any old maps? That sort of thing. There's old maps. That's good. That's a good one.
Well, I tell you where you can get old maps as well that I found. Obviously for us, it's your main library. They actually hold all your area maps as well. Like just behind you.
There we go.
You'd be a bit gutted if it showed the coordinates of your permissions.
I know, yeah, that'd be so funny. I think I'll go on. This actually, that's something I did for somebody else. But at least, there's out here is guess.
that though, what you've got there is actually quite good as well for when you want to follow paths in a field or roughly guide, so you can use them and just up you go.
Exactly. Yeah, you look at like a modern, like you look at Bing or any hybrid, and you can see the field. And then if you put over like a map from, late 1800s, and it'll show you all those footpaths, you look at your field and you go, oh, there's a footpath runs right through the field. It won't be there now because it's not used. It was used, over 100 years ago. Nobody goes from A to B in that way now because they don't have to get to the church from the farmyard or whatever it is now. Pathways have changed.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
a lot of them were bridle ways as well, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Bridle ways, old. The good thing about them as well is that it shows old. What's the word I want to use? Field boundaries, because field boundaries change over time, and you might find that where there was a gate in a field, in a field boundary, that's now in the middle of a field, and you think, why am I finding a lot just there? And then you look at, oh, there was a gate there, and there's something similar on one of my fields. That it was a boundary that you could see on an old map where the gate is, but it's not. So grid that little area, and good things come up. Well, sometimes. Sometimes you can follow a path. You think that's definitely the path. That's definitely the path. Follow the path all the way to where you think the path ended. Oh, I haven't found anything, and then you realise you're in the wrong field.
Yeah, definitely. But
I'm on a group, so you're never going to go back there.
A lot of folk mention gates and stuff like that, and I know that when I had Digger Dawn on, she done the same. She always goes by the gates and always says because it's a lot of traffic area.
Yeah, exactly. Think a farmer climbs over a gate and or the Lord come to survey his fields, and he climbs out, or he'll lift the gate up and trot through on his horse, and as he shuts the gate, maybe his horse will pop. It's a good place, and and if you think a ploughed field, where's the crap going to end up in the end? All around the outside.
Yeah.
So first thing,
there.
I don't know about you, but the first thing I do to a new field is I go around the outside.
Around the perimeter. Yeah. Find the wee hot spots.
Yeah, exactly. And then I do what I call union jacking. So I go around the square, all round, and I go corner to corner, and then I go top to bottom, left to right, that type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I look at where, because I map my finds, and then I sort of that's all cans and nonsense. That's an interesting spot, and then you can grid. People do it differently. So that's how I do it.
You're saying you map your finds. How do you do it?
What I do is I've got a folder with all my fields in, so I've got something like that.
Yeah.
There, not obviously that. That's not mine. I've got something like that, and then when I lift it up, so over the top of that, I'll put a clear sheet of paper, and then I'll draw an outline of the field.
Okay.
And then if I find a coin, that's a little X with a dot in it. I've got all different sort of symbols.
Yeah.
With a thing for a blob of lead, and then what I do is I'll map it. So then when I've done the union jacking, I'll have a look and I'll go, right, okay, yeah, I found quite a few coins there and there and there. You can see, you might find, they follow that footpath, or that's probably could be where a house found lots of nails. That's a lead washers. I definitely know whether there was a long barn in one of my fields, because every time I cross this certain line, lead washers, and it's a beautiful signal. Oh, I've got to dig it. You've got to dig it. Yeah, exactly.
Lead always gives a beautiful signal. You know what I mean? You just can't beat that. But on saying that, you're obviously doing it the old-fashioned way, pen and paper.
Yeah.
Have you heard of an app, and it's called Tectotrack?
Tectotrack, yeah. I have, yeah.
That's a good app.
It's fun. I mean, that will eventually drag me into the 20th, 21st century. But I just find, because I started doing it like that. I mean, that was some time ago, and I kind of like. I did have an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Well, it was a what do you call them? Pages, because I've got a MacBook, and I had all my finds with what they were made of, like ammo or coin, and it was just pages and pages where I found them. Even I think when I first started, I was like doing like sort of moo tubes and stuff as well, just to fill the thing up until I started finding good stuff, and then obviously I hadn't had the MacBook long, and I went into what's called recents, and I thought, oh, I haven't opened that for a while. So I deleted everything that was in the recents, not knowing that in recents that shows you that is not a shortcut. That's the actual file.
Yeah.
So I deleted lots of other stuff, but I deleted the whole list of finds. And not only did I delete it, because you can put it in the trash or
Yeah.
whatever, then you can recover it, can't you? Oh no, 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 no! I deleted it, then I emptied the trash box or the box or whatever it's called.
Did you know have it backed up to cloud?
The recycle bin. Well, yeah, it gets rid of the whole thing, clears it off your because I deleted it off the machine and I deleted it out of the recycle bin. It cleared it off all my machine, all my devices. So yeah. So I was an idiot. So I stopped doing that. But to be fair, it was getting on my nerves anyway.
Yeah, double. That just sounds like double the work if you're doing it on paper.
Oh
as well.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was keeping a list of that. Oh, hello everyone. By the way, I must. I've got. Oh my god, is that me? Oh, half my head disappears when I turn round, didn't it? I just noticed. Yes. I'm just looking at the.
Yeah, Digger. Terry for Digger's Den is saying that you can get a GPRS off the flow site, and that pinpoints where you find bits and records them for you.
What I do is I have. Hold on, let me close that. I've got OS Maps, and when you go into OS Maps, you can like sort of touch and hold, and it'll give you the ST. And give you that. That's how I use it. Yeah. It's again that is belt and braces and a long way of doing it. But it's me. It's me. I'm old. So it's Digger's Den, Tyson Fury. Is that Terry?
Yeah.
It's Terry.
Yeah.
I thought it was. I just didn't put the two together. Hey, Terry. Dear.
No, it is good, especially. I obviously some of the metal detectors as well. Well, one that I know of. I'm sure there's others, but the CTX for one, it has GPS, and you could actually record your finds and then upload it to Google Maps. And it showed you where you
well,
were.
Exactly. I was considering a CTX 3030, but I had a go of somebody's whose name shall not be mentioned, and it was just too heavy, too sort of. I mean, it's a great machine. But bloody hell, compared to I had my 80 Max as well. No, yeah. Did I have my 80? Yeah, and it's just I mean, I'm not sure it's all up weight if you like, but it's just this.
I had the CTX for 6 years, and don't get me wrong, with the standard coil on it, it's a brilliantly balanced machine. Obviously, still got a bit of weight to it, but I could still slug it around the field. However, if you put the 17-inch coil on it, that was a harness job.
Well, exactly, because it's so heavy. That's what old Gary Drayton uses, isn't it? On the hunt for nothing at all island. We found a lead cross. And some tin. And some spikes. No, it's still good to watch, to be fair.
Not everybody's going to find everything, you know what I mean? No. So, but that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Exactly, 100%.
To be fair, I don't think I'd necessarily want to go out be finding gold, silver constantly all the time. Although it sounds good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
You would lose interest.
Exactly. Oh, this is too easy. It's shooting. They call it shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it? Yeah. It's just where's the fun in that? Where's the beaver tails? Where's the where's the Mewtwo's? It's more. I prefer it. I mean, people are starting to call it real metal detecting because it's effectively what we find. You think you go out on a 4-hour hunt and you think of how many bits of old can, oil tin rip-offs, tin cans, that you find. Then that's a percentage, and then you look at how much, how many silvers, how many coppers, how many nice things that you like and find. It's a bit of a, it's an unbalanced ratio, but I love everything you find. It's that. What is it? What is it? What is it? Oh,
exactly.
What is it? Hey, that type of thing. It's that. It's the adrenaline rush, and of course, even Alan Titmarsh said it's good for the soul to get your hands in the soil. That's what he said.
Yeah.
Or was it the way around? I can't remember. Or was that in a pub?
Yeah. So what have we got? So obviously we're just talking about we don't necessarily go out. We do what you call the real metal detecting. Obviously, find trash, find the odd silver or something like that, which is nice. But how do you keep going, keep yourself motivated if you're having a
Oh, that's a
continuous,
very good question.
if you
You know,
if you're having such a dry spell.
Everybody must have been in that. You know, when you're in the field and you found your 115th ring pull and moo tube, and you know you start not just swing your machine, you start to swing your body, and you go and then you start to just walk. Oh, right, I'm going to get to that corner. So you're almost like missing half the field, and you get to the corner and you sit down and you turn around and you look at the field and you go. It's like a fish. You know, like the goldfish that goes around the bowl and goes, "Hello, Bob. Hello, Bob." You know, hello, type thing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you turn around, look at the field, and you go, wonder what's in there. And you're off again. And you just start again, really. You go, oh, good route. Or, and I know people do this because a few people have said that. You get to it, you know, you're going along the edge and you think, I'm not finding anything. And you go, hold on. Yeah, the ground spirits have just told me to turn left. And so you go left and you take it out and you keep going. And I've found a couple of good finds doing that. I go, you know, not necessarily gone. It's, you know, it's just, it's all different things like that. Or you think, I've got to find something worth money, otherwise my wife's going to kill me. That time.
To be fair, I don't think I've actually. I would say I've found anything worth a great monetary value.
Nah.
But to be fair, I'm not really interested in find. I just like holding the history, finding it, and then doing the research on it. It's
exactly, that's it. You know, it's trying to, you know, if you can put something, if you can give something back to, you know, to the historical
society.
Yeah, exactly. Put my tongue in properly. Put my own teeth in. You know, if you can add to history, fantastic. You know, then certainly many detectives have. You know, many people have found stuff that you think is amazing. Who knew that they buried a chariot with horses and, you know, all that type of thing?
Exactly.
Absolutely incredible. You know. He could have not bothered. He could have thought, tin can, and moved on, can he? Imagine how sick of it.
Exactly.
If his mate came up behind him and went, yeah, I found it. You know, it's not all about that. It's about I like sort of the what's next, and also, you know, just that thought of maybe I might find, you know, interesting stuff. Oh God, I just dropped a brass bear onto the
glass table.
Luckily, it wasn't the glass table. It was me. It was my MacBook mouse pad. Anyway, yeah, you know, things like that, or you know, like giving the farmer something back. I know a couple of people have found things in fields that the farmer has said, "Oh God, we lost that years ago." You know, wedding rings and, you know, barn keys, stuff like that. You know, things that you think brilliant. You know, finding it's all about finding stuff really,
well, One of the videos I found an axe. I say it's no Bronze Age, just an old axe head. But also that
didn't you say it's not Iron Age, but it is iron? I love that.
But I found a big solid bit of lead weight as well, and obviously he was out cutting the grass and things like that, and going around with the cedar later on. So he was asking what I'd found in that. So I told him about the lumps. He picked it up on the way out the field. He was like, "Yeah, I'll take that." Yeah, he was like, "I'll take that with me." I was like, "Roger."
Exactly. And on top of that, you know, because we find a lot of plough tips, don't we? You know, from way back. And so if you think, you know, you find the things you find in the field, like, you know, hammerheads and big, you know, and old. If he decides to, you know, to shell a plough with a you know, light plough kit, then he's gonna lose more. He's gonna damage your stuff. Though if you say, "Well, I've got out your field," he'll go, "Oh, cheers," you know. Or I know, I don't know anybody else's fields do, but a lot of farmers now are drilling, aren't they? They drill and seed instead of plough, which don't bother me really. Some people seem to be a bit bothered because, I mean, I spoke to somebody about getting a permission, and they did say, "Oh, we don't plough, you know, we do drill and seed," I think it said. And I was like, "Yeah, don't bother me." But she said, "Oh, sadly though," she said, "there's a local club got this sort of area." I said, "Oh, no worries, you know, thanks for you, no bother." And I've emailed them, but to no avail, so never mind. But she did say that they seem to be bothered that it wasn't ploughed, and I thought, why would you be bothered? You know, get the land, enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get it. Certainly. But the thing is, like you say though, always being refused. Another thing to be careful is always be polite. Always polite. You know what I mean? I always offer. I always offer as well. I've got like a little business card if you like, and I always give them it and just say, if you've lost a piece of machinery or jewellery, give me a shout.
Give it a
Come
call.
and find it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah. I did on one of my permissions. They asked me to look for some earrings.
Yeah.
And they were antique, very expensive. And the lady had she had them on her lap, and she got out the car outside the front of the house, and then she doesn't remember where they went.
Right.
And I did, unfortunately, gravel front and gravel around the side.
Yeah.
And I found all sorts. I found peg, the spring in the middle of pegs.
Yeah.
Peg springs. I found pennies, 5p's, nails, pin, all sorts, all the way around. Couldn't find them. Absolutely not. And I reckon they fell into the hem of a dress. But actually, that reminds me. I must ask her if she found those, because she said, "Oh, I'll have a look."
Yeah.
Yeah, proper. Yeah, and I'm not talking. Claire's accessory. I'm talking antique.
Yeah, antique gold diamonds.
Oh,
yeah,
I think there was some there.
Right.
Anyway.
Obviously, talking about finds and helping folk and stuff like that. Have you got a bucket list? And if you have, what is your bucket list?
To be fair, actually, I've added a solid silver buckle to it anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's what
I don't know really. I mean, the older the better, and the more intact the better. I mean, just nice stuff. I haven't got here's a phrase. I haven't got a bucket list per se, but
yeah,
but I've got crotal bell. I would love to find a ringer.
One.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know Martin Wood. I don't know if he's on the chat or not tonight, but he's posted a picture of like about 10. So yes. But yeah, crotal bell, definitely a ringing crotal bell. What else haven't I found? I'm just looking in here for inspiration.
Jamie for the Treasure Bandits is telling you to join the queue. I know that Jamie's also in the crotal bell like.
But the thing is that well, as you say, there's people I've only had 5 Hammards and 4 Romans, and they seem to be there. Oh, got Hammered, got Roman. They're the big ones. But 2 found on one of the only couple of group digs I did. I don't do them anymore. 1 found on somebody else's land, and 2 found on mine. So I've just been lucky.
Well, talking
exactly.
About hammers. I've only found 7, I think. But one of them, and it's my favourite wee one because it's tiny. It was actually a year later I realised that I'd found a hammered, because when it come out the ground, do you know normally they come up black? Well, this one was dirty and cruddied, and there was nothing on one side, and on the other side you could just make out the thistle. So I was like, it's a Scottish copper coin. So that's what I thought it was, but never ever cleaned it. Just kept it in the fines box. And then a year later, I had a look at it, and it must have banged about in the fines box against something else. And it was like a bit of silver, and I was like, so I had to say to the wife, I was like, does that look silver to you? And she's like, yeah, because copper doesn't ever look silver. And so I was like, do I, do not? So I turned it round to the blank side, done the little bit of tinfoil, and I was like, do I, do or not? Yeah, I'm going for it. And done it, and out popped the bust of James the first of Scotland, yeah. So I found that. I was like, so it was a year later, so I got the buzz a year later after finding it.
That's again the beauty of keeping your stuff, and especially all the little odd shaped things. You think, oh, what's that? I've got a blobs box that I keep, all the melded, because eventually I'll get a material tester, and and one of them is going to be silver. I'm telling you, you never know. But that is the beauty of keeping stuff, and then you have a look back and you think, I'll just go through me box.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the whole point. It's always never, when you're out in the field and you're like, oh, that's small, or what's the word? Fragile. Don't ditch it. As in, keep it, like you say, because once the mud dries and you're able to get it off, it might reveal to be something.
Well, yeah, exactly. You can wait. You take some out of the ground, and you can watch detail appear when it dries, if it's that day. But I will say one thing, that I've seen some people who think hedge fodder is a genuine thing, and who genuinely throw stuff into the hedge. And I've seen some people throw pre-decimal. Yeah. Oh, what do I want pre-decimal for? I throw it in the hedge.
One of the group digs I was on, sometimes they put out buckets for folks to empty their bags. And one of the lads went over and was emptying his bag, and he looked in the bucket, and he was like, "I know what that is." And they picked it up, and it was a full set, open and shut lid as well, the cup weights, and it was a full set of weights. I was like, no way. And somebody just obviously didn't know what it was, thought it was trash, ditched it. And it was a full set of cup weights. I was just,
if I knew what I knew now, I think it might be the first dig I went on. It was a group dig. I've only done a couple, as I say, I don't do them now. But I found what I thought was a bent nail.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was like twisted bent nail. Yeah. And no. It was thick. And it was like sort of like a bent finger. And I was emptying into the trash. But I looked at it, I thought, no. I reckon that was part of a fibula part. Thinking back, I think, fibula part because it literally been twisted from strands, but a bit just but hey,
I'm
you snooze, you lose.
Just laughing at Rob Random. I mentioned the buckets, and he's saying, "Oh, those buckets only for having a poo." Damn. I can imagine Rob sitting there.
Yeah. Oh, it's you, Rob, is it? Dirty man.
Oh, he's not right. But anyway, talking about detectors, have you got you're using what is it, AT Max International?
Yep.
Have you got a dream detector? Is there one that you would really like to own and use?
To be fair, I would quite. I mean, I love it. I love the 250. I love the AT Max because it's it's for me. It's like it's like a tank. It's not light, but I mean, there's some brilliant machines out there. I mean, the Simplex for its price is bloody amazing, to be fair. And the Equinox, the same, the 600, 800, they're good. There's the Multi Cruiser. Not the Multi. What's the new one? I forget. Anyway, I quite like, and I've had a swing of my mate's Deus.
Yeah.
But I haven't had a play with the ORX. But I do like the fact that there's no wires. You don't really need a controller if you don't need one, if you don't have to have one, and they just weigh nothing. Absolutely, what is it, 600? No, I mustn't say we're getting it wrong, but it's bloody light. It's as light as a cup of tea type thing. And I do fancy. Maybe it's going to be a bit longer now. I was thinking maybe adding it to the arsenal, but I'm going to wait for a bit longer now. It depends on what Garrett do.
Yes.
Because exactly.
Well, we're going to, obviously we'll move on to that now. Garrett have just obviously, I'll say they've announced, because they've not released it yet, but they've announced the Apex. What are your thoughts on the new Apex? Since you're a Garrett man, what is your thoughts on it at the moment? And what do you think that they've done right? And what do you think they could have done or they've missed a trick on?
No, with the Ace Apex.
Yeah.
The Ace Apex. Yeah, I think they're fantastic machine. It's got everything that the AT series should have. And why they didn't just bring them both out at the same time, I don't know. Or the Apex, the AT Apex first. I don't know. I know there's got to be one coming out there. But it's got everything. They have, as quite a few people have noticed, taken the AT stock shaft.
Yes.
They put a flashy coil on. They put a lighting box on. They should have done this a long time ago. Technology's moved up way past big fat boxes for machines, haven't they? Look at all the other machines. That's the only difference really with the Garrett range is that they've got the big, what do they call it? A Firebird nose. That's a
battery box basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So for the Apex, it's rechargeable, it's multi-frequency, it's weatherproof.
Yeah.
And I have seen a lot of people say, "Oh, it should be waterproof." What are you going? Are you going diving? Or if you are, then wait for go for a waterproof machine. Otherwise, it makes you can't please all the people all the time, but it does look. I mean, even though what do they call the coil? Forgot. Anyway,
The Viper. It's the Viper coil.
That's the Viper coil. That looks, at least they've gone, oh, let's have a look at the coil instead of banging stock ones on and letting other people put their, yeah, exactly. So it looks good. But as I say, they haven't looked at redesigning, the shaft.
No, yeah.
It's still, it's bringing them down.
But see, it's on the A series now. We know that the A series is like the beginner set. So maybe rather than put it all on the Apex, it might be getting saved for the Garrett. Sorry, the is Garrett's the manufacturer.
No.
The AT series. It might come out as carbon fiber and just that little top up.
Exactly. It might be. Who knows? I mean, the guy, the designer, he seems to, sort of knows onions. But yeah, I think they missed a trick in releasing, this is brilliant. The Apex. It was talked about as the Apex.
Yeah.
So they talked about it as the Apex, and I thought, oh yeah, hey, it's going to be top of the tree. The top machine. And when they oh no, it's the Apex.
Yeah.
What? Hey.
I was kind of like when because I thought it was the Apex and then it come out as the Ace Apex and I was like, yeah. But they may have a whole new line.
Exactly. That could be the start of them releasing, periodically or a scheduled release of these machines. Maybe it is, and that's why I'm waiting. I'm holding off now to see because if they bring an 80 Apex.
The question is as well: is the Viper coil the new Garrett coils? Is that going to replace all coils for their new machines now?
Is it going to be stock coil, or will the Viper be the Ace range and the the Anaconda?
Yeah.
You
never know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll see. But somebody's just mentioned a comment I've noticed. I only caught the one word. Yeah, and it's very sad news that was released this morning about White's Electronics.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
They have.
I mean that's.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
That's them basically stopped.
That was yesterday when they stopped manufacturing. And thing is, that you're going to see a lot more of that. I think. With
did you see the letter or bulletin that was released from them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting in what they said was part of the fault. So to be fair as well, obviously COVID was a problem, and then being able to try and get the components and things like that.
Yeah.
But then it came out as too many the replicas, cheap replicas come in, and they blamed that as well. And they were just like,
market bloody crap. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's it.
Where's that coming from? So yeah, exactly.
Where's the components coming from?
Yeah, exactly. Where's the components? Where's everything made? Yeah. They're a massive. Yeah, it's a shame. Shame.
I've never used Whites, but I have seen through the years a lot of people using the Whites detectors. So it is a shame to see them. Basically, still a good brand, I suppose. Finishing up, but it just shows that.
Well, when our economy shrinks by 20%, which is absolutely drastic, that how's America doing? Not very well, really. I don't think.
Yeah.
God bless them. Yeah, everybody's taking the hit, aren't they?
Yeah.
And there's lots of businesses sadly going to fold.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
Because of pants can get
bad. So we'll quickly talk about it as well. Do you have any other hobbies other than metal detecting?
Oh, I'm an avid scooterist. I do. I love my scooters. I was in the 80s, early 80s. I was a little mod. I should have uploaded the picture to show you my little Parker. And then
I think I've seen it in one of your videos. Your blue Vespa.
That's Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
imagine you with the wee mirrors.
I didn't. I'm not a movie man. But then, life got in the way, and you just. I almost bought a Lambretta when I was 14. I remember it was yellow and blue, garishly painted. I was £2 short, something like that. So I never bought it anyway. And then life got in the way, and you do your work, you have kids, whatever, and then you get to a point where you think, midlife crisis. I think I'll buy 2 scooters.
Definitely. But right, I've cut a few questions about. I've got a couple more questions because that's been streaming for like an hour 44.
Cool.
But one I really want to get onto is a lot of folk might not realise, but you're actually an author, aren't you?
I don't consider myself as that. I didn't really think about it. It was a pamphlet, and that's what a marvelous segue into talking about the boiler explosion in a certain town or village in 1895. Yeah. This was the story that my work colleague, who's now retired, bless him. I don't know whether you're on, Trev. Trev might be watching actually, because he does watch my vids and comments every now and then. Hiya, Trev. Hope you're enjoying retirement. He passed me this story across, and it was like it was just a story about a sad occurrence in a small village on a farm. It was, you know what a threshing machine is, don't you? The old machine that threshes hay, or whatever, separates and like that. And they were powered. They used to be powered by all sorts, but they were powered by steam boilers. They called them portable steam boilers because they were on wheels. Anyway, hey, and this one incident. They'd been threshing February, so it was -4, and they'd had to borrow a machine from another farm because theirs had broke, and it hadn't been looked after properly. And there was this before the times of anything, never mind just health and safety and service records and stuff. On top of this, the driver had screwed down and hung the brake shoe on top of the safety valve, so that wasn't letting off anything.
Yeah.
To get more work out of it, to finish the day's work. They were all having the tea, some buggered off. 5 or 6 sat around the, keeping warm and eating their food, whatever, drinking the cider, and it blew up. And I think the belly split, and it fired up into the air about 25 to 30 yards, and then landed on its top, sort of down the field. Sadly, killing 3, and then another one died a year later, I think. And so I read this, and I thought, oh, that's really sad, Trev. I said, hold on a minute. I said, the driver, who would you class as the operator?
Yeah.
He's got the same surname as you. And he went, yeah, that's my great-great-grandfather. I was like, oh, mate, brilliant. That's obviously not brilliant, but, it's what a sad story. But I said, I'll do a bit more research into that. So I did. Found out what farm it was, went to the farm, spoke to the people who lived there. They said, they were renting, so I spoke to landowners, blah, blah, blah. Off that, I got some permission from them, not necessarily at that farm, but around about the area, some of the fields that they let me on, and I sort of did more research, found out about various things, the uprisings of the 1800s, and how machines were taking effectively replacing the labourers' jobs, so they weren't happy, and that's all recorded in history. But the great thing that came out of it was that I knew where they were all buried.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the other guys who were buried in their church because all that corner of the graveyard is all like sort of they're all broken and covered up. But I did find where Trevor's great anyway, his relative. I found the village, the churchyard, and the plot, and so his family were able to pay their respects after not really knowing, which I thought was the best out of it. It was great. So, and then obviously I put all the research together, stuck it in a folder, and I thought, what should I do with it? Oh no, I'll make a little pamphlet. So it's like a TV book.
Yeah.
So I banged off a couple and stuck it in the local library. Not the local library, the local museums. They've got a small museum, because it's steeped in history, shall we say, in the area.
So, is there anybody else can obtain it to have a read?
Oh yeah. If you search, if you do a search on the internet, let me just give you an example. I just check, so I'm not lying, because I don't want to lie to you. And you put Yeovilton boiler explosion. Yeah, if you search Yeovilton, I searched Yeovilton Boiker explosion, and it still found it. And you'll find that the amazing Dave of the Archaeological Metal Detecting magazine uploaded it for me. So it's effectively the first thing that comes up on a YouTube search for Yeovilton boiler explosion, and it's there. Click on that, you can read it. Oops. Never mind, this is my phone. Yeah, and I've even had people from the village contact me to say, "Oh, I think my relative might have been there," you know. And so I will eventually update the let's call it a book. Let's call it a book. I will.
It is a book. It's bigger than a pamphlet.
Yeah. I mean, it is worth reading. If you search Yeovilton boiler explosion, Yeovilton, it's literally right next to the air station, so you'll probably find loads of air station stuff as well. But that farm that I talk about, the area I talk about, it's let's just say it's safe because it's right next to the air station. You mess about in them fields and you get shot.
Let's not step in those fields.
Yeah, let's not step into those fields.
Yeah.
Dear. Dear. Yeah, nobody's been in them fields since the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I enjoyed it, and the thing I have to say I got out of that was the fact that I found where Trev's relative was buried, and they could lay his respects. Yeah.
Well, that is a nice thing to be able to do, innit? You got something from it, and the fact that a family now found out where the relative was buried, basically their plot. So that was quite well done. So the final question for tonight for you is: so let's say 5 years from now, with your hobby,
I'll be 57.
Nice. With your hobby metal detecting, what would you like to accomplish? What would you like? Would you like to find something that might change history books, or what do you actually want it to achieve out of your hobby metal detecting in 5 years? Say.
Wow, that is a very good question. In 5 years' time, isn't there a song called that? I'm pretty sure there is.
No, it's 7 years, I think.
Yeah, it is. Actually, no, it starts off with 2 years. You've got me. I digress. I'm digressing as well. 5 years' time, yeah. I would like to have found lots more stuff I find. You know, 5 years' time, I'd like to find 5 years worth of the same stuff I find, with maybe the odd special find thrown in. You know, nothing exceedingly special. Maybe it's a gold ring or a posy. On the bucket list, posy ring.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of them yet.
I like the inscriptions inside.
Yeah, and I watched. Who did I watch pulling up? Oh God!
It was Adrian from
Simon Adrian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he was like, "Oh, I think it's old." And then when they come up with the inscription, I was like, "Yeah, you found a posy ring."
Yeah, it's pretty old. Yeah, it's an engraved posy ring.
What's that? That's about anywhere between probably 13th and 15th century.
Yeah,
you know
exactly. Oh God, sorry, that keeps coming out. 1 second. Yeah, so I'd like to find a posy ring. I'd like to find a crotal bell that rings.
Yeah.
Not be given one. I would like to, let me see, 5 years' time. I would say I'm not bothered about how many views, how many subs, and how many, you know, if I'm monetized or not. You know, the only reason I want to monetize is so that the wife gets off me back.
You got me regretting saying that now. She's probably sitting watching going.
I know, yeah. She's watching it. I'm dead. Only joking. Dog baby jump shaking then. Yeah, no, none of that matters really. This is what matters in this hobby is, as I've said before, I would have never met you. I would have never met, you know, John and Jackie and you know, Terry and Derek and Mark and all these people that we now know. You know, and are still, you know, I'd like. In fact, that's a good one. In 5 years' time, I'd like to meet more and know more people. And fingers crossed, if we can, meet up on some digs. I would like to come up. Thor, by the way, yeah. Hope you're doing well. Love to you, man. Awesome. He's my first moderator. Woo!
Is he? Did you actually see where he actually showed you his face for the first time? He's like, "Oh, I'm on."
Yeah. Oh, hello. I thought, oh, right, okay. No, he's hello, good morning. I love how he starts his channel. It's brilliant. And then he was a bit of a slip up, wasn't it? So fair play to him, you know. Dear. Yeah. Hope you're well, pal. Hope you're well. Is he on? I don't know.
I've not seen him, to be fair, but I've not really caught the chat. If you don't.
I know. I really.
I do apologise. I'm not being rude.
We definitely not. Hello to everyone.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh, that's what.
Was
My
it?
hand was just. Yeah. Hello to everybody. Thanks for all your comments. You're amazing. All of you are
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. No, I think in 5 years' time, I'd like to know more people, meet more people, and I would like for people to stop faking fines. Full stop. There you go. Oh, did I say that?
Controversial.
Exactly. I do not. I just. I promised myself I would not use the word fake, but I don't understand why people would do that. And yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. And me.
I'm happy to just record and show you
Yeah.
my spoons I find. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let us found a spoon.
No, I've got a field where if I cross a certain line, I find lead washers. If I cross a certain line, I find cutlery. And I swear to God, somebody drove through that field with a cartload of cutlery and it was spilling off.
Yeah.
Definitely. And even Andrew Jones with his dais. Oh, no. I said, just be careful in this field. You might find a bit of cutlery. I'll be fine with the dais, mate. I'll be fine with the dais. He got about it. I could see him over the hill and he looked down and he went, bloody spoon! Told you, mate.
I like
Yeah,
it.
sneaky. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, meet more people, meet with people, do
Yeah.
more friendly.
Exactly.
Stuff.
I totally agree. It's a great community that we've got.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And just to grow it and meet new people, top notch. It's what it's all about.
Exactly. To grow the good side of this community.
Exactly.
To have the bad side wither away like an old leaf.
Exactly. But anyway, Dino,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure to have you on
Oh,
tonight.
it's been a pleasure to be on, mate. Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it's been brilliant. And it's been great to even get to know you that little bit better as well. So thank you very much for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Let me just finish off by having a Roblox background.
I like it. But for everyone else, I'd just like to say thank you very much for tuning in and supporting Dino on his live stream tonight. And finally, just to finish off, I'd just like to say take care, good luck, and happy hunting, everybody.